What's up, guys? It's Jam1 from Jam1TCG coming at you guys with another totally awesome video. And today we are showcasing to you guys round 5 of the Crush Card Cup. If you guys aren't familiar, the Crush Card Cup is the online tournament put together by none other than Cimoooooooo. And we're in round 5, guys. I've been doing pretty well. It's been really grindy and cool. So we're gonna see right here. I win the dice roll. These series of videos have been into the mind of the Frog Master. A lot of you guys think that Paleo is dead, and I want to give you guys hope that there's still a way to play this deck. We just got to figure it out. And I've been doing pretty well with it. That's why they call me the Frog Master, right? So here we go. And this matchup is going to be against Zoo, which was interesting. Drident came off the ban list, and a lot of people have been experimenting with the Zoo build, and it's been pretty strong. So I open up kind of subpar here. I go ahead and make a swap frog. And sorry, a normal summon swap frog, not make him. And he meets me with an ogre, which was ouch because I actually needed that normal summon, but he kind of knew that. And if you don't see us talking, it's because we're on the chat. And this was a really nice player. He was such good sportsmanship. I loved him. It was nice playing him. But yeah, we had really fun back and forth in the chat. Wish you guys could hear it. But yeah, anywho, so I was forced to send a Ronin, and that kind of ended my turn, honestly. What's interesting about this build with the Zoo, they kind of play a lot of hand traps in just Turbo Drident and then recycle their deck, and then they just keep doing it. And that's kind of how I've noticed people playing it lately. I basically just set 2 pass, or I think I said 3 pass, yeah. And it's interesting. I didn't know what he was playing. Seeing Ogre kind of made me like concerned because I was thinking like, was this Animanticipators or is this Elders? And they don't play those cards. So I was like, what is this? So I'll go ahead and this was the day right after I went into the luxury gaming tournament. Oh no, he went straight to battle phase. The luxury gaming tournament that was put together by Hani and Pack and all of them guys it was such a fun experience. I didn't do so well in that tournament. I went X3 pretty early on, but this was the day right of this same day. I remember playing this right after. He evenly matches me, and I decide to flip over Metaverse in response to activate Mystic Mind or add it to my hand. I don't remember which one I do. I think I activate it to make him not have any plays, which again, this is the reason why Mystic Mind exists, to kind of just stun them a little bit. We're going to see what I do with it. I don't remember. I remember this game I made a few misplays. So I have Oleanoids and I had Demise of the Land. I added it to my hand. I didn't activate it. I didn't want him to just like, I should have activated it here, honestly. Actually, no, because it would have got banished with yeah, that's why I didn't do it. It would have been banished. And you guys see I banished my Demise of the Land. That was a mistake here. What I should have done was I should have just kept I didn't want to banish my Paleos, but it was greedy. I have a mine in hand, but I should have kept Demise of the Land on the field. It was a mistake here. I accidentally banished it face up, and I wanted to banish it face down. So I put it face down. I should have just kept it and then waited for him to go nuts, and then I would have activated it in response to his monster summon, which I wasn't playing good. I was tired right after the luxury gaming tournament. So he goes and he desires, and I still don't know what he's playing. I'm like thinking, is this Maju? And then there he goes. He normal summons Ram. I'm like, crap. So if you guys remember, Zoo used to be tier 0, right? And back in the day when I first started my channel was the format that Zoo was like really interested in popping. So I kind of am very familiar with how the deck works because that's how you guys probably found me back in the day, right? I topped 2nd place at an OTS championship, and I was featured on Sam's channel, etc. Blah blah blah. So that was like one of my first important tops, right? And yeah, it was during this format with Zoo. So seeing Dryden and all of them, it's just kind of scary. And this is why I misplayed. If I would have kept the Demise of the Land here, I would have been able to stop him dead in his tracks, which I didn't know what he was playing, so my mistake. I just was scared of banishing the Paleo. So if you're not familiar with Zoo, they basically get to turbo into each other with one card. They're kind of like the Ray of the old format back before Master Rule 4 happened a long time ago. So they can just lay on top of each other, and they can just keep on gaining the effects of the monsters that they lay on top of. So you see he has a Ram, he has Shaka 9, and then a Drident. Drident is the most scary of all because it can gain so many effects, and his pop is crazy. So now he has a pop, and he has Ram's protection effect. So it kind of like absorbs all the material that it has. It even absorbs their attack points. That's how Zoo plays, right? So he's looking pretty good with Drident. I had to reread Drident for a minute because it's been so long since I played this. But yeah, it has a quick effect. It can detach and then just pop something on the field. Really good, really good. It was so interruptive back in the day. People were playing My Body as a Shield and all kinds of stuff. It was crazy. So I go ahead and I just activate Mystic Mind. I know he can just chain right here to pop it because Drident is a quick effect, and that's fine. That's why I should have kept the Demise of the Land. If I would have kept the Demise of the Land, I would have been okay to kind of stall him out. But I go ahead and I set this Compulse because it gives me a little bit of advantage. And right now, I'm just trying to get into, and then it wouldn't have mattered, it seems, because he has the Cosmic. He's main decking Cosmic. I wasn't expecting that. Now, I know a lot of people are doing that, but at this moment, I wasn't expecting it. So I go ahead and I chain Compulse to pop his Drident back to the extra deck. And yeah, like, so I guess the Mystic Mind Demise of the Land wouldn't have mattered too much because he would have just had the Cosmic to get out of it. But I wouldn't have had to waste my second one, so maybe, I don't know. It's kind of like up in the air whether or not it would have mattered, but it was a misplay. So and like I said, Jam's king of misplay. So here he goes. He normal summons Thoroughblade, and he's just going to start overlaying again into his stuff. So this is what's so good about them. They only need one card to just keep turboing out into each other. Shaka 9 lets just kind of like a Monster Reborn. Lets them bring back one and let you guys read it. Hammer Kong prevents targeting. Ram prevents targeting with trap cards. Really powerful stuff here. So he's probably prioritizing getting the Ram back because he wants to be able to prevent my traps. And this is dead. This is why I really should have kept the Demise, guys. So mad at myself for not doing that. But he goes and he makes something else right here. So I remember how and what he's gonna do. You're gonna see this play is really interesting here. So I think he misclicked something, or he was thinking about something. Yeah, he meant to do this, make Tiger Mortar. So Tiger Mortar kind of lets you like grab back and attach things. It's so interesting. You can attach them to other ones. So there he goes. He gets Shaka 9 the material. Now Shaka 9's effect can work. He detaches and he brings out one. Monster Reborn, bring back the Drident that he got rid of with the Tiger Mortar. And then here goes the big play right here. They go into this thing. This is a new card that just dropped out of the set that we've been waiting for Nebo Fiber right here. I'm going to pause it on this right here. The set that just came out, you guys might be familiar with it, is one of the collections, and it's really it's a powerful set, guys. We got a lot of link monsters into it. So this is one of those link monsters. It's basically a towers like thing. You need 3 XC monsters, which is why he was able to do it, because that was the play. And then it can kind of steal your cards and attach things and reborn them back. So he kind of has infinite resources now. It's huge. It's got 4,000 attack points, and basically I'm kind of like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. I didn't know about this, right? So yeah. And remember, guys, if you ever want new cards, remember TCG Player. Link in the description below as always. But yeah, so this is the same. It came out in the same pack as Needle Fiber. So here we go. It's looking really bad here. So he goes ahead and I believe he uses his effect to reborn Dryden, and then he can steal one of my cards and make it material to the Exceed monster. It's just really strong. So I go ahead and I have to move it here so he can gain control of it on Dueling Book. So he sees it as my Oleonoids, and he tries to overlay it underneath Dryden, but it didn't like that it was face down. So he had to like fix it. This is some glitchy stuff that happens online play, guys. It's just part of it, sadly. So he brings it back and he tries to, there it goes. So that's what he does. He pops, absorbs, and then it becomes a material under the monster he reborn, which is really nutty. It's kind of crazy. So now he got this big shovel thing, and I can't really stop it. And here's the power of this deck. He's going to recycle all the monsters with Pot of Avarice, recycling all of the Exceed monsters that he just tossed in the graveyard to basically get a free draw 2 Pot of Greed effect. Like, wow. And recycle all of his stuff back. Crazy. So he goes and puts back all his Exceed monsters and then draws 2 for free. Crazy. So now he's gaining so much advantage here. But you guys see, I have my evenly matched, so I'm not too scared. So he goes and he attacks me. When he does this, all his battle damage is half when he activated that effect. So I only take 2,000 here. And now I debate whether or not I'm going to use the evenly, and I save it because I didn't want to. I wanted to see if he was going to commit to some more cards, which he didn't, which made me sad. But I said, okay, I drew a Swap Frog. That's pretty good. That's one of our best top decks, right? So now I'm looking at, I might be able to do something here, especially with this evenly to get rid of this Drident. Because I know that he's gonna keep the Drident. I mean, he's gonna keep this guy most likely because he made so much work to build it onto the field. Why wouldn't he? So I go to battle phase, and he's like, "Uh-oh," because we're on chat here. And then boom, I hit him with it evenly, and I force him to get rid of either Drident so I can play, or he gets rid of this guy, and then I'm stuck. So he gets rid of the Drident. Good. So now I get my Paleo back, and I can play again. So I go ahead and summon Swap Frog. Now I'm uninterrupted unless he has another ogre or something. I go ahead and use Swap Frog to send. I'll probably go for another frog here. And he had the ogre. I was like, wow, that's really good. That's not unfortunate because the whole point of getting rid of Dryden was so he couldn't interrupt me, and then he goes and interrupts me again anyways. That's why he probably decided not to keep Dryden, and it makes more sense. So he destroys it, but Chainlink 2, that resolves and destroys mine, but he didn't negate my effects, so I can still send a card to graveyard. So I go ahead and I send a Ronin because as you see, I have perfect setup for 2 summons here with the Ronin. So I'm like, okay, this is all good. It's not terrible. So I go ahead and I banish the Ronin unless he has a DD Crow, which he doesn't, I don't believe, and summon another Ronin. And yeah, we're looking pretty. Now we go ahead and we overlay into our big boy Toad, Totally Awesome. Overlay into our Totally Awesome Exceed monster. Yeah. Our boy Toad is on the field, and now I can try to take control again, is what I was trying to go for here. So he goes ahead and he draws. I'm not too worried about this because the shovel thing, because I can go ahead and use Toad's effect and bring out Dew Frog and block him with Dew Frog's lightning rod effect to get Toad to stay on field. Dryden is banished, and you only play one of Dryden, so I was like, okay. Then he's playing a lot of go second cards, guys. This was unexpected here. The Pranker Tops. Since I control more, he was able to just special summon it for free. And I'm like, wow, he gets a pop and he draws more freaking cards. He keeps drawing cards. But his deck is looking really thin, but that doesn't matter because he has kind of control. I was thinking maybe I can like stall him out and like hopefully deck him out or something, or get back control in a couple turns. But the Pranker Tops was so unexpected because if he only had this, no Dryden meant that I was able to kind of like snowball into getting my stuff next turn. But it looks like he draws more cards and he has to prank and he has a mind control. I couldn't negate it the pot, but I was afraid that if I negated the pot, then he would have had something. And maybe I should have negated it, but I was taking a risk that maybe he wouldn't draw anything off the 2, and then he would just have the Pranker Tops. I was really kind of saving for his Exceed plays, honestly. I negated here because I have to, or else he was going to take my Toad. And I did what I told you guys I did not want to do ever, but I kind of have to. I take Toad and put him in the graveyard. Opens me up to a call by the grave, but the reality here is that I just didn't want him to have my Toad, period. So, and I wanted to try to like let him hit this so I can get a Swap Frog and make it back. So then I try to use Toad's effect to bring him back because we have to use Toad's effect on himself now to get a water monster back. I have to put himself back. He didn't have the call by the grave or DD Crow, which was really risky. I was so glad that he didn't have it. So it was really risky on my part, but I did that, okay? So now he just goes to battle phase. Oh no. he summons the monster, which again, I knew he had, and he used Thoroughblade's effect. Look at this draw power. He just keeps drawing. He summons Thoroughblade, tosses a zoo card to the graveyard, and then draws on top of that. I just love the zoo cards. They're so good. Like, in the Zoodiac, like, they're like the Chinese Zoodiac. If you guys watch Jackie Chan and all of that, man, Jackie Chan Adventures, Jack was amazing. But yeah, you learn about the 12 Zodiac monster or animals in the Zodiac, and that's what they represent. Tiger, the boar, the ram, all of those, the rat. There's just a lot of them. Okay, so he goes ahead and he turbo overlays into Tiger Mortar. That thing is big and it pierces now because of it gains their effect. So it's at like 32 or 30. I can't do math. 32, I believe. Yeah, and then he can pierce. So he hits me right there. And I take some damage and piercing. And then now I'm happy, though, because I get to flip and use my effect. And I was thinking, like, it's all good. It's all good. I'm still alive because, yeah, he uses effect of this thing, but he didn't use the effect. So battle damage is not half, guys. So that's going to go ahead and take me out. That's 6,600 to my 46. Yeah, I couldn't stop these attacks. So maybe it was a little misplay on some other parts, and I definitely should have kept Mystic Mine on board, but with Demise of the Land, but it's okay. I was like, okay, whatever. I have a pretty good matchup against this, though, because guess what? Every time he summons a monster, I can interrupt him. I can Book a Moon it. I can banish it. I can compulse his monster. I had so many good cards against this that I was like not worried about this matchup. I misplayed a little bit, though, but it was okay. So I'm like, okay, game 2, I get to go ahead and start first. So I was worried. Okay, pause here. In my siding process, I was wondering if Border would be a good card. I wasn't sure if it was because, you know, they can turbo into stuff and then they can easily get a monster on board. Then I started thinking, though, I have other cards to stop his effects and block his monster, like I was just mentioning to you before we started siding, right? I have all this stuff to stop him and just interrupt him. So I was thinking, like, if I just had Border and a few interruptions, I would be able to, like, block him out of the game. That was where I was going there. So as you see, you didn't see me playing this card before Prohibition. I wasn't playing it before these rounds, but after the Luxury Gaming Tournament, I realized that my side deck needed to change because the format is changing. The meta is changing so fast, and basically the point of Prohibition is to stop some cards like Golden Lord and things like that. So I decided to put it in my deck for this Crush Cup round. And it's a good idea because right here I'm thinking in Prohibition, as you're reading it, you basically get to ban one card from the game. Like, they can't use it. So I'm thinking, okay, I go Border, and then I go Prohibition, ban Drident. And that's like so scary because Drident is the whole point of the deck, right? So I'm like, what could he do? He would just be summoning vanillas that can't really do anything. So that was the line of play here. Swap Frog was not that good right now. I needed extra cards to make him work. And mine was just a backup just in case he goes nuts later. So I go ahead and I summon Border, like I just told you. Summon Border, and then go ahead and pass on the Lost Winds. So if he summons an Exceeds monster, he'll get one effect, and I call it Dryden. He'll summon an Exceed monster, get one effect, and I'll Lost Wind that effect. If he has a Cosmic or something to get rid of this, then okay, he'll bring out Dryden, and then I'll just, again, negate the effect. So I was looking pretty good, sitting pretty here on Silver Surfer Boy. So yeah, goes to the next play here. He goes to his main phase, and here's the normal summon of the Rat Pier. Like I said, Zodiac monsters. There's the Rat one. He couldn't use the effect because Borders on field, so he's gonna basically do the only thing he can do. Looks like he didn't draw Lightning Storm or nothing like that. So Dryden is still banned with this, and he can't do anything. So he's just gonna go ahead and I believe overlay. Yep, he overlays into the monkey, Borble, whatever, and then into the tiger. I just love the artwork though. Like, Takahashi's artwork is so amazing, and the stories behind them is so nice. And then he goes into the monkey. This doesn't really do anything. So I was like wondering why he was doing this. He probably just wanted to have some presence and be able to activate at least one effect. But yeah, like, he has 0. They're all at 0. 0 attack, 0 defense, and then he can't even really use their effects. Oh, Shaka 9. He can use a 1 Shaka 9 effect, but what's the point? There's nothing in graveyard. And it's looking really good here. Like, so Dryden, banning Dryden with Prohibition was really powerful. And I was testing this card out, and I really kind of like it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it going forward. We'll see. Because, like I said, the format is changing now, and I got to adapt this deck, or else I'm not going to survive the next couple of tournaments or turns here in our rounds with this. But yeah, so we go to my turn. I drew a Lilith. That's not that good. I mean, I'm stuck under border myself. So it's basically just I think, okay, well, I have one effect, so I can summon Lilith and then trigger the effect if I want to. But also, since he has 0 attack, I might as well just run over Lilith's 1,000, right? And then keep putting some pressure on him. So I go ahead and go to battle phase and I smack over with Lilith, and then nothing happens. And then I can go ahead and smack him in the face with Border, Silver Surfer. Boom. Okay, I'm looking good here. So I'm like, okay, if he summons another Exceed monster, I'll quick effect chain Lilith's quick effect and then get a card and then grab something that can interrupt him again. Just keep interrupting him every turn with his one normal summon. Is basically the whole plan here. Deny his effects and keep on stopping. And Dryden doesn't exist, so who cares, right? Because, yeah. So I go ahead. Here he goes in my turn. He goes ahead. So good. This card is so good in this deck. It's not good in any other deck right now but this. So he goes ahead and he activates his Avarice again and then recycles all 5 of his monsters. It's probably also why now it makes sense why he turboed into all of those 0 attacks. He just wanted to be able to unleash this card probably if he drew it or if he already had it, which he must have top decked it. But okay, so he gets them back and he gets his free draw too by sending all of those back, right? So digging for some answer here for Border. He goes ahead and he normal summons the Ram, which is really good because it stops targeting of traps. If he goes and overlays with it. Let's see what he does. He overlays into the Tiger. So Ram into Tiger. Into Monkey. And I'm thinking about if I want to use Lilith's effect or not. And then sadly, guys, this is the unfortunate nature of online matches. I was really upset here. This is my X2 because I got a disconnect right here. So the way CMO's tournament and a lot of these online tournaments have been going, if you guys get a disconnect in the middle of a game, it's just a game loss. Because it's kind of hard to say who can repair and all this other stuff. So it's just kind of like whatever. We're going to see what he did have in hand to see if it mattered. But yeah, so it was really unfortunate. I reached out to Distant Coder, which is the head judge of this event. And he told me, you guys might be familiar with his channel, but he told me like, yeah, if you get a disconnect, it's over in the middle of the round. I would have had to get a disconnect either like in between a siding or like right at the beginning or something, which it sucked. I was really sad here. It must have been my internet went out on me and I don't know why, but yeah, so see what his hand was just to kind of see what he could have done. But as we're looking here, he just had a lot of hand traps. Let's say Ogre, Pot, DD Crow, and Baylor, and then it's Cosmic. So what is his line of play here? He could have just hit me with the Cosmic to get rid of that and turn Dryden back on. But the minute he would have done that, then I did have the Lost Winds to negate his Dryden, right? So, and I have my Lilith as well, and I have Mystic Mind. So I was sitting pretty good here. He could have also just kept turboing and to keep drawing more cards to draw it out, but I was sitting pretty good, and I had Swap Frogs, so this was looking really nice. Like I said, this is a really good matchup against Frogs. Like, we just control them. We have all the answers. Sad, but it's okay, guys. This taught me a lot about how my deck was working with the new format shifting, though. Stay tuned. It's going to be somewhere on the screen. Click to the next video to see round 6. And also comment below. Let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think I would have won this? Do you think that he had more gas going for him? How do you think this would have went, even though like we got the disconnect and he won? Now X2, but yeah, how you guys think it would have went?